Hello besties, I've been relegated to the garden corner. Why? Because I choose to, because at the moment we're having a new bathroom put in. Not paid for by me, I'm going to add, because I am one of those people that still rents my house. It's an association house and they're putting us in a new bathroom and eventually a new kitchen because, I don't know, they've been in, 15 years for one, 12 years for the other. I can't remember, honey. But it was already done when we moved in, so. And it had been done not long when my friend lived here, bless her. Because a dear friend of mine lived in this house a number of years ago and I was really good friends with her. Her name was Moina and she was a really lovely lady and we used to come up. And I used to come up and have a cup of tea and a natter with her. And at that time I smoked and she smoked, so it's a cup of tea and a cigarette. Catch up on all the gossip. You know how it is when us girls get together. Bless her heart. And she always used to save her coppers. She used to pop them in a jar. And then when one of my children used to come up by, because she was a lot older than me, she was like old enough to be my mum, but we were good mates. And she used to come up. And as the kids come by, she'd say, "Oi, come here, come here." And they'd come over and she'd give them a whole jar of coppers. And then they could separate them out and buy themselves sweets with them. I used to tell her not to, because I used to say, "You need that money for yourself, Moyne." But no, she was Welsh. And she was lovely. And I miss her. And when we had the chance to swap with my daughter, Charlotte, so she had our 3-bedroom house and we went into a smaller 2-bedroom house, I had no worries about swapping into it because it felt like I was almost coming home because Moina had lived here. I know that sounds daft, but I'd spent some happy times here in this house with Moina. I expect you kind of guess she's no longer with us. No, she passed away some time ago now. But it don't mean you don't miss her, because I do. I misses her. Mrs. So anyway, yeah, I'm sat in the garden. There's a lot of banging and clunking and all going on. He's ripped the bath out, took all the tiles off. I think the sink's gone, but when I went in there last, the toilet was still in situ. We're meant to be getting a new bath, a new pedestal sink and a new water closet, a toilet pan. So that would be done today, I think. Then they're going to decorate it and they're going to put new tiles down on the floor. Well, I have to admit to having what we call lino. Is it I can't remember what to call it now. La blah blah blah. It's a new word. Blah 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 blah. Flooring. Yeah, well that's got to come up and new's got to go down apparently. Mind you, I don't know why they're bothering because I've heard tell that when they do stick them down, they come up after a few months, and I'm not sure if that's good or bad because then move you around a bit, and then because obviously you've got to call them back out to do it unless you've got some super glue and do it yourself. And if you do it with super glue and it sticks down, then the landlords might moan about it. So, but we'll wait and see how it goes. Hopefully my experience won't be the same as everybody else's. Then eventually going to do my kitchen, a whole new kitchen. I'm keeping my larders and my understairs cupboard. I took out the larder down the old house when they came and gave me a new kitchen, and it was the worst day's work I've ever done. Yeah, get rid of it. Stupid female was I. Should have left it. It was a godsend. It was somewhere to stand the things that you didn't want other people to see. So your brooms and your buckets and things like that. And I had my tin food in there as well. My vegetable rack. And then all of a sudden when it was gone, I'd got nowhere to stand my brooms or my brushes or anything like that. My vegetables thing was stuck out in the middle of the room. No, not in the middle of the room, at the side of the room. And I just thought, this is ridiculous. I wish I'd never done it, I tell you. Worst day's work. The larder I've got here in my kitchen is a proper old larder. It's got the vent at the back of it to let the fresh air in. And I suppose in the days before everybody had refrigerators, fridges or whatever, you could make your jelly and you could stand it in there on the concrete shelves and it will cool down and set overnight. And I love it. And it's still cold in there and you can keep cold things in there. But I think if you remember rightly, last year we had a bit of a problem in the summer because we had a whole bunch of honeybees decided to come in through the vent and they kind of made their home in the vent for a while. No, we didn't get rid of them, we just left them there. They do let off this kind of pungent smell, so we took out anything that would possibly be damaged by that, any flour or anything like that, things we keep in there to stay cool, and we just let them get on with it. And yes, they flew away. I didn't want to injure them. I love bees, and I don't think there's any need to kill them if you don't have to, so I left them where they were. That was quite nice. And when we used to, because we've got like a little alleyway up the side of our house, and the little air vent is in the alleyway because it leads into the larder, and you could hear them buzzing away quite busily in there. It's quite nice actually, thinking of them in there doing their bit. And as I say, they just went away, and that was that. And they don't come back, I don't think, and if they do, it'll not be a problem for us. We'll just work round them. They don't have to work around us. So I'm thinking I'm having new units, new walls, as in being painted and decorated. So I guess I'm going to need some new curtains, but I don't know what colour to go for. I think we're going for a grey to kind of almost black grey, the floor and the work surfaces, but a clean to light grey colour on the cupboards. So as for curtains, I've no idea, because at the moment my kitchen's very yellow. They asked us what colour we wanted, and I said, well, we'll go for magnolia and then we can make a decision on colour later. Because it's really funny, isn't it? But when someone comes and puts you on the spot and goes, what colour do you want? You think of these colours, and then 6 months down the line you think, why did I choose that colour at that time? So we tried to stay pretty neutral and not go with what was in fashion at the moment, because that kitchen is going to have to stay there for quite a number of years before it's replaced. In fact, it might see us out of the house, who knows, I don't know. I can't see us moving in a rush. I love it here. As I said, I'm really comfortable in the house, and I felt comfortable the minute we moved in, and I'm going to stay here now. Do you remember the old saying, I'm staying there now until they bring me out feet first in a wooden box? That's an old saying, but I still hear people saying it occasionally, some of my older friends. I can sit here at the moment and I'm looking, and over the way I can see the tree in the next door's garden. It's all coming out in, I don't know if you call it bloom, bud, I guess. They look like, from here, leaves all opening up, and the little birds are jumping about. It's beautiful. I can hear the birds singing. I'm going to be quiet for a minute, see if we can pick any of it up. I doubt it. I can hear the cars and that passing by. A couple of house rows over, there's a main road. So we're stuck on an island. It's almost like a V shape. It's really weird, but we are stuck on it. So either room you're in, front or back, you can still hear the cars from the front road or the backyard road. It doesn't really matter. But I guess by now you peeps are thinking about getting back out in your garden, because as they say, spring has sprung. My husband has started to level off his raised beds. We gained two new trees. It was our anniversary, 15th year anniversary, and my son Richard very kindly bought us a conference pear tree, and he bought us an apple tree, and for the life of me I can't remember what kind it was, but it's done and we're going to plant them. One is put into ground, but the other's still in the pot because we're making a decision where we want it to be. So anyway, that's what I come on to tell you. I'm out in the garden, away from the noise and the hustle and the bustle, in my corner, enjoying some fresh air and the sound of the birds and nature and what's going on, and of course the sound of the cars and the lorries that are going along the road. But anyway, I hope you lot are having a fantastic day, and I'll be back on soon within the next couple of days. I really must do another episode of Lucy because we're getting near the end of the story now. But anyway, I love you all, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. Take care. Mwah.